to dig through the law, we're going to dig through the statutes, we're going to dig through the rules, and it's important. But I want to talk about what the man on the street, the man and woman on the street really sees here. And it's called rules for thee, but not for me. Democrat leaders, in their desperate attempt for power, continue to rewrite the rules in an effort to maintain that power. They're manipulating the courts to keep a political opponent off the presidential ballot. They disregard democracy by all but canceling their own primary process to make sure that they coronate President Biden. Democrats on TV openly endorse the chaos on the border, claiming illegal immigration is a way to help them with future redistricting. That's what it's really about. A party that is desperate for power. Leaders that are desperate for power can never be trusted with it. And I pray that they don't get it, because it will rip apart the fabric of this country. The pattern we see here paints a clear picture, and it's what people on the street see. Democrat leaders believe they are better than all of us, better than everyone else. And there's no clearer example than Hunter Biden. A man who's paraded around the world with our adversaries, a man who cheats on taxes to the tune of millions of dollars, a man who spends that tax money on escorts, drugs, alcohol, and luxury hotels, a man who illegally obtains a gun and then illegally disposes of said gun and was going to get off with hardly a slap on the wrist. Any other American wouldn't receive that type of justice. A deal that would have cleared him of all illegal acts. Unbelievable. We had an honest judge who never saw anything like that, and she couldn't even do it for the president or the vice president. The corruption is so blatant, it's hard to believe when you say it out loud. The truth is, Hunter Biden's a bad guy. And his corruption goes all the way to the top, all the way to the president. And he needs to be held accountable. As for members of this very committee that have gone out of their way, a particular member, to help orchestrate the criminal act of defying a congressional subpoena, and let me address that. This is a standing committee of the United States House of Representatives. It isn't a select, partisan, hack committee set up by the former speaker that didn't hear anything from the other side of the aisle. Totally different. You can't relate one to the other. And of course, Mr. Jordan was willing to go, would have gone, but just wanted an outline of what the issues were really going to be, never received that. And the reason they didn't hold him in contempt, the reason that they didn't give him the information that they needed, because they knew they were on faulty ground, they knew that they were a partisan hack committee, they knew they didn't want to hear the facts, they knew they didn't want to have the truth. We have the other side of the aisle here. They can challenge, they can have a colloquy, they can go into debate. That didn't exist on that other committee. The purpose of that committee was to hang one individual. But when you think the rule of law is for thee and not for me, Hunter Biden and my colleague from California, those sanctions, they're unsurprising. Americans see the corruption. They feel it. They want Democratic leaders and powerful, rich people to be treated like everybody else. The construction worker down the street sees it. The parents who want to speak out at a school board meeting see it. Traditional Catholics who want to worship their Catholicism and the government tries to spy on them sees it. The millions of Americans that were illegally surveyed by FISA, they see it. And if this committee doesn't unanimously today hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress, Democrat leaders will once again show the world their blatant disregard for the rules of this country and the core values that should bind all of us. Justice for thee, but not for me. The rules for thee, but not for me. The powerful, the rich, the Democrat leaders in control. It doesn't apply to them. It only applies to the people they want to get. God help us, I pray, for justice and integrity to prevail today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Chairman. Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from